Hey guys, James from Brews and Barbells here, and today I'm going to go over something pretty interesting, and that is an honest review on Chapter 2, Season 3. Now in this video I want to tell you guys my honest thoughts and let you guys know, is it really a good season or not? And here we go. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the new Mythic weapons. Now the new Mythic weapons are seemingly not quite as powerful as they were in Season 2, Chapter 2, and this, in my opinion, is honestly a pretty good thing. I do like to see that the drum gun got a very significant nerf and is now not as crazy and powerful as it used to be. The drum gun used to melt people in 2 seconds last season, and the only people who seemed to really have it were the sweatiest people in the lobbies. So now I think it's more fair and balanced, which is a great improvement from the last season. The only mythic weapon, it's not even a weapon actually, it's a consumable, and that's the bottomless chug jug. Now, this item, in my opinion so far, from what I've seen, can be a little bit overpowered, especially with all these long-range battles, which gives you ample opportunity to get away and get back to full health right away. But at the same time, the 15 seconds it does take to get that chug jug going can put you at a bit of a disadvantage. So overall, in my opinion, all the mythic weapons are fairly reasonable so far, and good job to Epic on their part. The next thing I want to go over are all the new NPC players in the Fortnite Battle Royale lobby. Now, I've noticed that the new marauders are not quite as big of lasers as the henchmen were in Chapter 2, Season 2. Now, this is really good because it can be very frustrating to go down in 2 seconds when you have no weapon to these guys. But I still would warn you, proceed with caution when you battle with these marauders because there's so many of them, and if you're not paying attention, they can definitely get you down really quick. But I do think they're a good addition because they deal a bit of a challenge, but they do give you a pretty favorable reward, like the RPG and the stink bombs. So I definitely don't mind the marauders and think they're a pretty reasonable addition. The next thing I'd like to go over about this new season is all the water everywhere. Now, what I've seen so far, it seems like a lot of people seem to be sticking to the OG POIs instead of traveling and discovering a lot of the new ones, because the water is just so vast and everywhere. And honestly, I'm a decent fan of the water. I like everything new in Fortnite. I like the new additions, but I feel as if the season will be improved upon a lot once the water starts to go down a bit and unveil some of the new POIs that Epic wants to show us. So from what it seems, I think the flood has been a pretty successful idea, and it's definitely something new, which is something that Epic's been struggling with for a while, because with Chapter 2, Season 2, there wasn't a lot of new stuff going on, and as I said in my previous video, they really needed to focus hard on doing some innovation and finding a new way to get players actively involved in the game and entertained. And with all this flooding and everything, it's a great change, so I do like it and I definitely rate it. The next thing I'm going to talk about here is all the unvaulted and new weapons. Now, the hunting rifle seems to be a little bit overpowered in my opinion. I've had a lot of situations where I'm running and somehow these sweaty guys manage to hit me for 200 in the head, and my game's over right there and then. And I think it's a little bit too easy to kill people with the hunting rifle. There's no issue with the body shots, but I think they should adjust the headshot multiplier a bit, because if you're 200, you shouldn't be going down to a one shot by a no scope sniper rifle. Like, that's not really fair. So in my opinion, they do need to adjust the hunting rifle a little bit to make it a little more fair. The next weapon I want to talk about is the compact SMG. Now, it seems like this weapon honestly is just as overpowered as it ever was, except for maybe the initial launch of the weapon, where I remember Daquan just rocking the triple, quadruple P90 and literally just ripping shreds from long range, mid range, and short range. Now, it seems like from Chapter 2 Season 1, it's been actually buffed a little bit. And I feel as if SMGs are now a lot more viable of an option than shotguns due to the tactical shotgun nerf, which I really don't like at all. But overall, definitely good weapon, but again, a little bit overpowered. They should also do some decent adjustments to make it a little more suitable for everybody to have a level playing field. And the next new addition is the sharks. Now, what I noticed is Epic actually seems to have nerfed the sharks really fast, because I remember playing literally right after the update for this new season came out, and the sharks were literally like the most overpowered, ridiculous things. They'd be flying through buildings, hitting you for 100, like 5 stories up. And what I've noticed in the past couple days is that the sharks seem to have been balanced a lot better, and I think the riding of sharks is a little pointless because you can't really do too much with it, but I think they should definitely figure out a new mechanic for this, or let you like ride it or something instead of riding it with a fishing pole, because you can't really do much. You're just kind of a floating duck at that point. Like, you're easy prey for any sweat to just laser you while you're riding that thing, and the boat is definitely a much more viable option. But it's interesting how these sharks eat loot, and I don't really completely understand how it works just yet, but overall, I mean, I think it's a decent addition. I think it's pretty cool. They're not too menacing anymore. I think they've done a very fast and good job at balancing them, so I mean, I say they're pretty good. I rate them. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the charged shotgun. Now, a lot of people have a lot of mixed feelings on this weapon because it only has 3 rounds in its clip, and it does do a hefty amount of damage when you connect it. But when people are cranking on you, when you're facing very sweaty players, it's almost not viable at all, because people can just have a quick build and they're covered up, because since you need to charge it, the shot isn't instantaneous and it's very difficult to be able to get a quick, powerful shot off with it. But what I can say is it seems to be very viable against bad to mid-range players, and it just completely destroys them. So I'd say it's a good addition to the game, but they need to figure it out a bit and make it a little more viable for competitive players. I think it's very good for the new players and the people who like something new in the game, but I don't know, it's okay. I have a lot of mixed feelings on this thing. And the next thing I want to talk about is the new Battle Pass. Now, the Battle Pass is definitely an improvement from the terrible Season 2 Chapter 2 Battle Pass. That thing had atrocious skins. I could have got the gold banana skin if I really wanted to, because I probably finished the season at 260 with probably half the challenges still left to do. But I just had no incentive to do so because it was terrible, and it gives you a disadvantage when you have such a big head on your screen that's blocking everything. You can't see anything. So this season, I really like almost all the skins except for maybe the tier 80 skin, I believe. That girl with the fishbowl head, like, that's really silly. And honestly, I know it might get a bit of hate for this, but Meowsicle's remake, it was stupid. I'm not a really big fan of all these silly, pointless skins. Like, I don't know, just not me. But I definitely give the Battle Pass like a solid 7 out of 10, for sure. Not too bad. So, overall, in my opinion, this is a great Fortnite season. Definitely not the best, definitely not the worst. So, my final score I'm going to give this season is a 7.5 out of 10. Now, I think they definitely have a lot of room for improvement, but they definitely did a good job. Anyways, it's been James from Brews and Barbells. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe if you'd like more Fortnite content as well as fitness content. I've seen a lot of good positive feedback on my previous Fortnite videos and continue to keep it up. At this rate, I should hit 1,000 subscribers within the next 2 weeks. It's crazy. And I really appreciate it. So, thanks, and I'm out.